Welcome back to Rich Words Music, where today it's a guitar gear battle, a comparison or a shootout, if you will, between the Line 6 Pod Go and my analog guitar amplifier paired with a series of affordable effects pedals. And what we're going to do today is try and get the best indie rock and garage rock tones that we can, because I love those genres of music and so should you. But all silliness aside, what I'm really trying to do is get to the limits of the capabilities of the Pod Go. I'm trying to get it to sound as authentic and as close to the real thing as I possibly can. And so what we're going to do today is try that in the world of indie. Now, the lovely people over at Line 6 Germany sent me the Pod Go recently to get to grips with, so thanks guys again for doing that. And I have spent the last couple of months really getting to know the device. I did do a video where I got to know it as a beginner, which you can watch later, where I really got into making presets and making my first sounds and taking my first steps. But I'm now at the phase where I want to get it sounding as good and as authentic as I possibly can as a guitar player. So that's what we're going to do today then. And what I wanted to do was play a bunch of different riffs, all in the indie rock and garage rock stylings, and see if you guys can guess which rig is which. There's going to be a bunch of different riffs. They'll each be played twice or be split into two parts. Rig A is going to be, well, maybe it's going to be the amp, maybe it's going to be the Pod Go, and rig B is going to be the other one. And I'm not going to tell you till after the playing part, so have a listen to the sounds, see if you can guess which one is which. But basically what I've done is make a couple of presets on the Pod Go suited to indie rock and garage rock. So we've got overdrives in there, we've got reverbs, we've got delays, we've got an octave pedal for the garage rock stuff as well. So we've got everything we need to play those kinds of sounds. And for my analog amplifier, I've chosen my traditional Hughes Kettner Black Spirit 200. Now that amp already is more expensive than the Pod Go would be, a couple of €100 or dollars more. So I've decided to go with the most affordable effects pedals that I can, just to keep things kind of relative to one another. And now I would normally use the Greer Lightspeed overdrive to do my indie light medium drive sounds, but that pedal itself costs $200 or €200. It's too boutique for today. So for today's drive sounds, we've gone with the Tone City Durple. Now this is Danish Pete from Andertons' signature low to medium gain drive pedal. It costs £45 in the UK at time of filming, so very much affordable indeed. Also in front of the amp to get the octave sounds, we've got the Boss OC5. This is a great octave pedal, costs around €120 or dollars, and I've done a separate video on this if you'd like to check it out. A great octave pedal. In the effects loop, I decided to go for a dedicated delay and reverb as well for the more ambient tones, and I've got the NuX tape core for the delay sounds. This was NuX's first take on the legendary Roland Space Echo unit, so it does lovely, warbly tape delay type tones. I picked this up used for €30, so very cheap, and you can get new ones for under 100. A very affordable pedal. If you're really into the Space Echo thing, by the way, NuX just released a more advanced, complex, and more expensive, granted, version of this pedal. It's called the Tape Echo, and I have a video of that one too if you'd like to check that one out as well. But for today it's the €30 version. And for my dedicated ambient reverb sounds, I've gone with the classic, the TC Electronic Hall of Fame. So I've got different types of reverbs on here, from rooms to halls, spring, plate, church, mods. I'm using the spring and the hall for most of this video when necessary, as well as the spring reverb that's built into the Black Spirit 200 amp. This is a great reverb pedal if you're looking for something cheapish. You can get one for $50, $60 or euros used if you're lucky, and it basically has every reverb sound that you could ever want in the world. Okay then, so we're going to play a bunch of different riffs, and of course I'm going to be using my beloved Fender Telecaster for these riffs, because that for me is the ultimate indie rock guitar. Let's play the riffs now then, and you guys have a go at guessing which rig is the pod and which is the amp. Is it A or is it B? Let me know in the comments and we'll speak in more detail afterwards. Okay then, so that was the indie rock guitar tone battle between the Line 6 Pog Go and my Hughes Kettner Black Spirit 200 and a series of affordable effects pedals. And I hope you enjoyed the playing and the tones, and I hope you've made your guess by now. Did you think that the Pog Go was Rig A or Rig B? Let me know, because I'm now about to reveal all, and I can reveal that the Pog Go was Rig A. So Rig A was the Pog Go, and Rig B, the real amp, the Hughes & Kettner. So did you get it right, or did you guess wrong? And what led you to make your guess? What was it about the tones that made you guess one over the other? Let me know in the comments down there, and let's get a discussion going, as I always enjoy with you guys. I'm looking forward to that very much indeed. So what are my thoughts then on the tones? Well, I have to say that I really like the Pog Go. It does a great job of indie rock as well. And when I was dialing in the tones, I spent about a good hour with the device on my own, making my two presets. I got a lot of sounds that I really liked, you know. It took a bit of tweaking to get some clean tones together, and then I got some drive pedals that worked quite well with it. I got the octave thing going on too, I got some nice delays and reverbs, and I got a fuzz pedal that I wasn't 100% happy with, but because of DSP limitations, I had to go with anyway. So I got those tones dialed in, I got them played, I got them recorded, then I did the same thing with the Hughes and Kettner, and it was then when I got to putting the tones together, when I got to putting the amp and the Podgo side by side and listening to the final results, that I started to hear some tonal differences, some subtle shifts in the sounds, and I also got to hear what I thought was some quality differences too. And so I have to say that overall I feel like the Hughes and Kettner, the analog amp, the so-called real thing, for me personally sounds better than the Podgo for a lot of the indie rock stuff. And it's mostly down to the actual bass tones. I feel like for the clean sounds, for the edge of breakup stuff, and also for the crunchy stuff, where I was using the Tone City for the drive sounds on the Hughes and Kettner, the real amp with the real pedal, for me somehow it just sounds more 3D. It sounds bigger, it sounds fuller and thicker, it sounds sparklier, it just sounds fatter, it just sounds more lively to me, and in comparison the Podgo sounds a bit boxy. I didn't really notice that when I was just playing the Podgo, and I don't think you would. And I also think that there are people out there who could dial the Podgo in a lot better than I can. I'm still very inexperienced when it comes to this kind of thing. But putting the two together, I felt that the Line 6 wasn't quite up there with the Hughes and Kettner at this point. Things did change for me slightly when we started to play the more effects-heavy riffs. Now, when I was doing the ambient stuff, the ambient cleans with the big reverbs and the big delays as well, I was really able to take advantage of Line 6's excellent delay and reverb algorithms to get some great tones there. And because you hear less of the bass clean tone there, it actually works in the Podgo's favours. And in some cases, I actually preferred the Line 6 delay and reverb pairings over what the NUX tape core was giving me. Of course, this is a very affordable delay pedal, and it's not as feature-rich as the delays that you can get in the Podgo. So the Podgo's versatility there speaks for itself very well indeed, as does the quality of the delays and the reverbs in that unit. I was also very happy with the octave effect that I was getting out of the Podgo, although I did think that the Boss OC5 together with the Hughes and Kettner sounded a bit thicker and a bit more vital for me too. So there are also a few limitations with the Podgo when it comes to building the sounds that you want, and I actually had a couple of issues here. The first is that you have about 4 spaces in each of your Podgo presets to put digital effects pedals, so maybe a delay and a reverb and a couple of drives, or a drive and an octave in my Garage Rock instance, for example. And the second is DSP power. That's the amount of computational power that the Podgo has, and you basically can't go over that. So once you use too much DSP, you stop being able to use some of the other effects. So I found, for example, that when I was using the analog delay and the big hall reverb together, I basically had run out of DSP power for those presets, and I had to really juggle it to use drive pedals that sounded pretty good, to get the fuzz pedal and the octave pedal working as well, and I had to go between it. I couldn't use one of the delays I wanted because it used up too much DSP, and then I had to change my drive pedal, and then I found that I could go back and actually use the other delay, but then I had to use another drive pedal instead. That's the area of modelling that I'm still not au fait with, the kind of modelling stuff that I don't really want to waste too much time with, because that's just something that doesn't seem to happen with analog amps and analog pedals as well. But there you go, something that I'm in a learning curve with and a learning process, and I want to hear your guys' experiences about that kind of stuff too. Is that something that bothers you? Is that something that you're totally normal with now? Because for me, it's definitely going to take some time to get into that kind of stuff. Overall then, to conclude, I have to say that I think the Line 6 Podgo is a really good choice for indie rock and garage rock. If you play it directly next to an amplifier with pedals like we've just done here, you're probably going to notice some tonal differences. But if you're not, if you're going to put it into a band mix, if you're going to play live shows, it's just going to be a great all-in-one device. It's super versatile, and of course it can do way more than indie as well, and you've got the built-in expression pedal, you've got way more effects, you've got MIDI capabilities. It can basically do everything, so it's a really good device. Stick around with the Rich Words Music channel if you're still here, and drop me a like and a subscribe if you will, because there's a bunch more videos like this to come. And are there any more genres that you'd like to hear me cover with the Podgo? Should I do classic rock? Should I do metal? Should I do country? Should I do clean stuff? The world is my oyster in this sense, so let me know your thoughts, and I look forward to doing more videos with the Podgo in future. If you're still here, check out a couple of the cool videos that are getting recommended to you here and here, or subscribe to me by clicking the button up there. But that's been it for today's video. I've been Rich for Rich Words Music, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.